Welcome to the brief presentation of ISO 13485 requirements. We are going to discuss clause number 6, resource management. Resource management. Resource requirements. Provision of resources. Allocation requirements. Determine the resources that your QMS needs. Provide the resources that your QMS needs. Provide the resources needed to implement your QMS. Provide the resources needed to meet regulatory requirements. Provide the resources needed to meet customer requirements. The organization shall determine and provide the resources needed to A. Implement the quality management system and to maintain its effectiveness. B. Meet applicable regulatory and customer requirements. Human resources. Personnel requirements. Identify personnel and examine work that could affect product quality. Establish a process to manage the competence of medical device workers. Use your process to manage the competence of your medical device workers. Select suitable methods for evaluating your training and awareness activities. Maintain records that document the competence of medical device workers. Personnel performing work affecting product quality shall be competent on the basis of appropriate education, training, skills and experience. The organization shall document the process for establishing competence, providing needed training, and ensuring awareness of personnel. The organization shall A. Determine the necessary competence for personnel performing work affecting product quality. B. Provide training or take other actions to achieve or maintain the necessary competence. C. Evaluate the effectiveness of the actions taken. D. Ensure that its personnel are aware of the relevance and importance of their activities and how they contribute to the achievement of the quality objectives. E. Maintain appropriate records of education, training, skills and experience. The standard additionally says that the methodology used to check effectiveness is proportionate to the risk associated with the work for which the training or other action is being provided. Infrastructure. Infrastructure requirements. Document QMS infrastructure requirements. Provide the infrastructure that your QMS needs. Identify maintenance activities that could affect quality. Maintain the infrastructure that your QMS needs to have. The organization shall document the requirements for the infrastructure needed to achieve conformity to product requirements, prevent product mix-up and ensure orderly handling of product. Infrastructure includes, as appropriate, A. Buildings, workspace and associated utilities. B. Process equipment, both hardware and software. C. Supporting services, such as transport, communication, or information systems. The organization shall document requirements for the maintenance activities, including the interval of performing the maintenance activities, when such maintenance activities, or lack thereof, can affect product quality. As appropriate, the requirements shall apply to equipment used in production, the control of the work environment and monitoring and measurement. Records of such maintenance shall be maintained. Work environment and contamination control. Environmental requirements. Work environment. Control your working conditions. Identify the work environment needed to meet product requirements. Document your organization's requirements for this work environment. Identify the working conditions that influence the quality of your products. Document your organization's requirements for these working conditions. Document procedures to monitor and control these working conditions. Identify personnel who could affect medical device safety or performance. Identify those who come into contact with products or related environments. Establish health, cleanliness, and clothing requirements for these personnel. Control those who work temporarily under special environmental conditions. The organization shall document the requirements for the work environment needed to achieve conformity to product requirements. If the conditions for the work environment can have an adverse effect on product quality, the organization shall document the requirements for the work environment and the procedures to monitor and control the work environment. The organization shall a. Document requirements for health, cleanliness and clothing of personnel if contact between such personnel and the product or work environment could affect medical device safety or performance. B. Ensure that all personnel who are required to work temporarily under special environmental conditions within the work environment are competent or supervised by a competent person. The standard additionally says that further information can be found in ISO 14644 and ISO 14698. Contamination control. Plan your contamination controls. Plan how you're going to control products that are or may be contaminated. Plan how you're going to control the contamination of sterile medical devices. As appropriate, the organization shall plan and document arrangements for the control of contaminated or potentially contaminated product in order to prevent contamination of the work environment, personnel, or product. For sterile medical devices, the organization shall document requirements for control of contamination with microorganisms or particulate matter and maintain the required cleanliness during assembly or packaging processes. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Please give us your suggestions and feedback by an email.